to the top.
Yeah.
Jalen Llewellyn was standing in the left corner, so I was watching it on TV, and he's doing like this because he's wide open by himself.
Yeah.
Doug looks him off not once but twice,
Yeah.
and I'm screaming at the TV because I didn't go down there for the game, and I'm like, oh man, I know what's going to happen. He's going to work the ball, and do something by himself.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what happened. He went to the basket, kind of threw up a crazy shot. Well, it looked at the refs looking for a call. And in the course of the next 56 seconds, Minnesota went on a 8-0 run, got to the under 12 media timeout, and that was the ball game. It was that one small possession. You work the ball around, you find an open guy, you penetrate and you kick to somebody for a shot. Even though Terrence Williams couldn't, I mean, he couldn't hit water, fell out of his boat
yesterday. As good as he played, inspired by the Fab Five.
Oh my gosh!
You know, fist bumping with the Fab Five.
He couldn't make anything. He was shooting the same shots and everything. He couldn't make anything. But it was that one crucial moment. They had fought back and they had clawed and they were right there. And then they make the wrong play at the wrong time. And there was no set being run. There was no nothing. It was literally just. I'm just going to stand out here and work it, pass, get it right back, and I got to go.
And then it's all ISO. And so Olivia Kamwa, who played well, well at times, transferred from Tennessee. I remember there was one possession soon after that. So he gets the ball at the wing, and he starts doing the NBA, it's like back,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all the ISO stuff. Yeah.
He's doing backing up.
Yeah.
And now one other player, this was 10 seconds in the shot clock.
Yeah.
He backs in. And he forces a shot. It's like driveway basketball. We all force shots, That's what.
Well, and the worst part about that is that the other four guys are literally just standing there, shot ready.
No involvement.
But they know they're not getting the ball. Because they've seen it enough in practice where it's like he gets into those certain modes and it's like he's not kicking that out. He's going to get hit.
This is a poorly coached basketball team.
No.
No question about
the understanding of what you should do in game situations is just 100% not there. And then on the defensive side, I mean, how many offensive rebounds did we give up? How many second chance points did we get? Points in the paint. I mean,
significantly got out rebounded. The turnovers were bad last night. I think the turnovers were less than 10.
Yeah, they were just playing bully ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. And I have to apologize. I kept saying Minnesota earlier. I watched the Michigan State game before that, and that's why I kind of had Minnesota on the brain. They played Illinois last night.
Yeah, it was a good win for Michigan State.
It was a good win for Michigan State, but it was a big opportunity for Michigan coming off that big Ohio State win on Monday. They had some juice to them, and then they came out. Terrence Reed got that first bucket, and he's running down, he's flexing, he's into it.
He's
like,
look good at times.
Yeah, and then they went on an 11-0 run.
Yeah,
it's just come on, guys.
So it was, Michigan is 2-5 Big Ten play, 7-11 overall. So I'm figuring right now on my speculation meter, Michigan will end up 5-15 in Big Ten play with so that would be 3 more wins. No, they'll be 10-21 going in the Big Ten tournament, which will take place in Minneapolis, where I have a legitimate excuse not to attend.
Not to go, yeah. Yeah, just because it's a 10 or 12 hour drive.
Chicago, Indy, I gotta go for the one and done.
Yeah.
Like I did, I went to Chicago last year for the one and done, the Rutgers, which was one of the worst performances.
Oh yeah, that was really bad. But that was the guys just being like, okay, yeah, this season's over.
Let's just check out. Jet Howard isn't back. Boy, we digress, but there's so much to grasp onto when you're talking about this Michigan basketball team. Our mutual friend Brendan Quinn of The Athletic, by the way, BQ is a great writer, one of the greatest writers in college basketball media right now. And he came out a couple days, I want your opinion on this, see why. That said he thinks Juwan Howard is safe for another year, providing he makes an assistant change. This is very similar word manual of Jim Harbaugh restructuring the contract in 2020 after the COVID year, which had caveats of you're going to have to make some coaching changes on your, which were great changes, by the way.
Yeah.
Tremendous changes. And Jim made $11 million a year. We're going to talk about him briefly later on in the podcast. But, so, your thoughts on that? So, okay, so, and our mutual friend, Sean Higgins, the national champion, Sean Higgins, on our podcast with Richard Relford said last week, and Richard and Sean are good friends with Juwan, and I understand totally that. He says, no, we don't need to get rid of Juwan this year, but we need to get a recruiting guru on the staff, because he doesn't look at Sadi, Howard Isley, or Phil Martelli as great recruiters, and he's probably right. But why not make the head coach the great recruiter?
Well, the head coach is the great recruiter. That was
supposed to be the great.
That was one of the big things
Why
when
do you have to,
Juwan came in. It's you can go sit in any 5-star's living room and be like, wait a second, oh, I've got LeBron's number right here. LeBron wants to talk to you. Oh, I played against Mike. I played against Kobe. I know these guys. Like these are guys you will potentially have access to.
Yes.
Like,
where's that?
That's there. That's how you get Hunter Dickinson.
Well, then,
that's how you get. Okay, you get Jet because it's his dad, but still, you get these 4 and 5-star guys, but then there's no development. Again, look at T-Will.
Yeah.
Even Terrence Reed. Yes, he's shooting his free throws better. Yes, he shows these flashes now that we just didn't see last year. But still, I mean, the development year upon year, especially at a position that Juwan played. Like, if you give me 6 months in the gym every day with Terrence Reed, I'm not sure I can put him in the NBA, but I get him real close in 6 months. Yeah. And he's been with Juwan now for 18 months. Like, why is
seeing it on a consistent basis? You see flickers of it.
Yeah, every once in a while you see a flash, and it's like, oh man, this kid, okay, he's ready. And then all of a sudden he's lost, and he's looking up at the crowd, and he can't finish around the rim, and it's all over the place. But as far as a coaching staff change, okay, maybe you bring in somebody else, but you're going to get rid of Martelli, who is doing all of the in-game adjustments for Juwan, because that's one of Juwan's weaknesses.
Yeah.
Howard Isley is developing guards and putting guards in the NBA. So Sadi Washington has been a staple around the program now for a bunch of years.
Going back to Beeline,
and consistently is a good recruiter. Is always in on every 3 and 4 and dabbles with some 5-stars.
Yeah.
Who do you get rid of?
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of adding someone. Okay, you go out and you add a guy that's a known, amazing recruiter that piggybacks on Juwan, but it's got to be Juwan. When Izzo goes out and recruiting, yes, he takes his other assistants with him, but he goes out and recruits. When all these high-level coaches go out and recruit, it's always the head coach that goes and gets these guys, and then the other guys step in.
But there have been some great, Johnny Orr had a stalwart. Bill Frieder was a great recruiter.
Yeah.
He was an alpha dog recruiter.
Yeah. Well, and obviously so was Fisher.
Steve Fisher
with Brian Dutcher.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Tom Izzo for Judd Heathcote.
Yep.
I mean, Judd Heathcote never wanted to go down to Detroit.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go down to Detroit.
Yep.
So Izzo went down to St. Cecilia's. Izzo was down there, not Judd Heathcote.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's that. I mean, Juwan's sitting in gyms. He was over at Orchard Lake St. Mary a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Sitting next to Izzo. I don't know, but something's got to be done, because I'm telling you what. I mean, you got Purdue Tuesday night at Mackey,
which is going to be just a
brutal. No Doug McDaniel, because he's got these suspensions.
Yeah, whatever.
Which
That
has
whole
never been really
situation
explained.
is. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
No, that whole suspension doesn't make any sense. When I first saw that he had a 6-game suspension, I was like, for academic reasons or whatever, and I was like, okay, yeah, that sucks. I don't quite understand how mandatory study table every day and all that, how you still have academic problems.
Yeah.
But then to only be suspended on the road, like I think there's something else there, and they're just kind of umbrelling it under academic issues. But that game down at Mackey, I mean, even without Zach Edey, going to Mackey's a pain in the ass. Like, I can't even. And then you got to go down there shorthanded, with no juice coming off of this week. You had juice after that Ohio State, and then it just you just totally fall apart.
Yeah, and then Juwan post game talks about he kind of had a head scratching, puzzling thing. Or we're going to take tomorrow off. Why don't you bring him in the gym today? I mean, I don't know if there's limited. Only so many days.
Yeah, there's only so many days and so many hours you can do, and all that kind of stuff.
So
but still, as captains, you go in the locker room and you say, okay, coaches aren't going to be there, but we're all coming in. We're going to get some shots up.
Yeah.
We're going to do, we're going to get a lift in, and we're going to get some shots up. And we're going to sit down as captains, and we're going to run a film session, and we're going to break down what exactly happened and why this continually happens, why we just keep having these meltdowns.
Right. By the way, the coffee is tremendous.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
Is an old guy, $1. $1. Again, corner of Hagford and Grand River. Come out, CCY and I. We'll let you know ahead of time when we're going to be out here. Also, Kerry Keaton and I are going to do Coach Keaton and Crawford here on Sunday morning. That'll be about 9 o'clock. So, okay, segue over. I mean, by the time we're going to post this here on Friday around noon, and the Jim Harbaugh saga might be all signed, sealed, and delivered, that he is in L.A. and coaching the Chargers, which I think would be a beautiful thing. Just a gorgeous thing. It's time to move on, Jimbo. It's time. I'm tired of this romance crap. every freaking year. 4
Every
years
year.
in a row.
Every year.
Now, rumblers that he wants to take Ben Herbert with him as part of the deal, where you need your strength and conditioning coach more at the collegiate level than you are at the NFL level, because you only do a seasonally out there. They all 54 players, or how many players on the roster have their own personal trainer? I don't quite get that. That's part of the caveat.
Well, and then a caveat on that is what's going on with Sanderson.
Yeah, John said, back to
back to basketball. Where's Sanderson at?
Yeah, there's never been a statement on that. So
and again, last night he wasn't on the bench. He has not been traveling with the team.
No. He's taking time off.
Yeah,
in the season.
He's taking, but apparently he's still an employee of the university, but he's not working with basketball anymore. Like what is going on with that whole situation? Like it doesn't make any sense. And again, like jumping back to football, there's no clarity in what's going on.
Michigan should be leveraging in football like Georgia did the last 2 years, what Alabama has done in the past.
Yeah.
You leverage off your national championship.
You're coming off a national championship. You should have 5 stars beating down your door.
Yes.
You should have National Signing Days should be an event that they hold at Chrysler or something like that, and you get all these guys coming in and signing, because now they can all come to campus early. They can all enroll early. They can all be here already.
2025 recruits, you should be getting verbals right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the time. You stick your chest out. Now, Sharon Moore is out in the Bay Area doing what he's doing, and while the coach is out, dating other NFL teams, basically saying seeking a marriage.
I love that. What Coach Harbaugh was able to do with the football team this year, winning that. I mean,
your job is done. Move along.
It's the perfect scenario. It's the perfect situation. But every year at the end of the season for the last 4 years, it's the same thing. Is he going? Is he staying? What's going on? And it's always 4 to 6 weeks after the season. It's just like I'm sick of it.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good for him to go along. And this NCAA investigation from Michigan is not done. I can tell you that for a fact.
No, it's not.
Okay, so relative to some meetings that took place this week, so at another venue. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So next week we'll have probably more on that. And hey, see why you always bring it. You're like Karen, you always bring it. You bring it direct. You don't flower. You don't flower it up.
I don't sugarcoat anything. I
don't pull
punches.
From CY. Nope. He loves the Wolverines like I do. He's the former player. He's got significant ownership within his heart over this Michigan basketball team.
Absolutely.
I'm speaking for you.
You're saying everything I'm thinking. So yeah.
Anyway, until next time, down the block, Chris Young, Tom Crawford here on the Crawford Podcasting Network. Stay warm.